This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. An audited report of the Bahamas Consulate Office in Washington, D.C. shows that over the 2-year period of July 1st, 2016 to June 2018, more than $32,600 are outstanding. 4 checks totaled this amount, 3 of which did not have a check number available. The description indicates that the checks were used for, quote, unforeseen expenses regarding transportation to bus unveiling hotel accommodation on behalf of the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs, and islets ordered on behalf of the ministry. The audit also found that funds sent to the Council Annex for Independence celebrations were instead used to defray other expenses. In July of 2017, $15,000 was spent to the embassy's operational account. Subsequently, an amount of $18,000 was inadvertently sent to the Council Annex for repatriation costs. It was also determined that the Council Annex subtracted the $15,000 owed to them for the independence celebration and forwarded the balance to the embassy. Records from 2016 indicate that a total amount of $25,000 was transferred to the account. Donations totaled $21,190. And the amount expended came over $42,000, leaving a balance of more than $3,700 in 2017. $15,000 was transferred to the account. Donations equaled $15,975. The report noted the importance of the independence celebration as a representation of the country. Therefore, it suggested that adequate budgeted amounts be sent to the various missions and embassies. The budget should be agreed between Foreign Affairs, heads of foreign services, and the Ministry of Finance. Things over at Morton Bahamas Limited down in Inagua at a standstill, according to Bahamas Industrial Manufacturers and Allied Workers Union President Jennifer Brown. This as union officials and company execs wait for Labor Minister Dion Fox to organize a meeting. Here's Labor Director John Pinder with an update.
Actually, there was a meeting scheduled for yesterday, and the minister was then advised that they had some discussions going on. They were going on kind of favorably. So he postponed the meeting to see if they can continue to talk. So they are talking. Morton has promised not to do any lockout. And they had asked the union not to bring any industrial actions until such time as, it really reached a point where if after the minister and myself get involved to mediate, if there's no changes in trying to move past the stalemate part of the negotiation, then they can go ahead and do what they have to do. But presently, I think they're talking, and the talks seem to be going along favorably.
The company last month gave workers a 15-day ultimatum to agree to acceptable industrial terms or be locked out the plant as of July 3rd. When asked what it would take to come to some sort of resolution, Mr. Pinder says this.
See, the thing is this, in negotiations, I'd like to speak from my experience as trade union. In negotiations, you can ask for the sky to hit the clouds, you're okay. But sometimes you don't expect to come below the clouds. And I think too often employers, they would look at what it will cost them and how it's going to affect their bottom line, which is their net profit. I would really wish that unions would start when they negotiate with these employers, especially large companies that make plenty of money as a result of the labor from the trade union movement or the persons involved in the workplace. But go after, say, listen, give us a percentage of your net profit, let the union determine how to share it. You know this? I think that would be the easiest way to deal with these matters.
A new meeting date's yet to be determined. However, the labor director insists both sides are still having favorable discussions, and if there's another stalemate, well, the minister will step in. The Democratic National Alliance deputy leader, Bushima Brister, accusing the government of inflicting suffering on the Bahamian people. He says although this minister-led administration does not fail to remind Bahamians the cupboard's bare, it continues to spend taxpayers' money like drunken sailors. This in the wake of learning that the government will spend $9,000 per month to house the country's newest Governor General, Cornelius A. Smith. He questioned if the Prime Minister knew the quarters at Government House were unsuitable, and if so, why the rush to appoint a new Governor General and add more expenses on the backs of taxpayers. The Caribbean has someone new lobbying on its behalf on the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization, or FAO, Council. For the next 3 years, the Bahamas will shoulder that responsibility, taking over from Trinidad and Tobago. Now, as Agricultural and Marine Resources Minister Michael Pintard explained, that leaves the Bahamas representative to engage in discussions and collect the priorities and aspirations of regional decision makers of agriculture and marine resources to ensure they are factored into the FAO's deliberations. This in turn facilitates the international, regional, sub-regional, and national goals for the development of Blue and Green Agenda. The Council's first meeting was this past Monday in Rome, Italy. It's expected that significant work will be carried out ahead of the Council's December meeting. Our final stories up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.